After the TT lost its World Championship status in '76, the '77 meeting had a very different look to it. There were 3 Formula races for road-based machines of 1,000, 600 and 400 capacities. A huge increase in budget for the TT, rumoured to be £150,000, meant the organisers could attract world-class riders with adequate start money. Amongst them was Takazumi Katayama, who was destined to be the 350cc world champion that year. Zooming Taxi was joined by American star Pat Hennon on the Works RG500 Texaco Suzuki. Honda returned to the TT after a 10-year exile, not with Mike Hailwood, more about him later, but Phil Reed, one of the TT's fiercest critics, earning himself a reputed £12,000 on his return to the island. A gold wing at the TT. Hugh Evans was due to race this Dresden frame machine, but engine issues late in practice made this unusual racer a non-starter in the F1 race. The first race at TT77 was the junior race, confusingly for 250cc machines. Charlie Williams added to his TT wins. Despite a late charge by Ian Richards, he lost to Charlie by just 8 seconds. Bill Simpson held second place for most of the race, but crashed at the Nook, less than a mile from the finish. Tom Heron finished third. Mick Grant had a slow first lap. He gained speed and places through the race, but only finished 7th on the Kawasaki Tandem Twin. The sole single-cylinder machine in the race, Fred Launcebury's production Mako, made it to 44th, beating a few racing Yamahas. The only 4-stroke in the race was Nev Watts on his Honda. The inaugural Formula 1 TT was next. Roger Nichols on the Sports Motorcycles Ducati led, with Phil Reed on the Honda in pursuit. With worsening conditions, the race was shortened to 4 laps. Nichols had pitted at the end of the third. Phil Reed was waved through and won a pit-stop-free race by 39 seconds. Ian Richards was third on his Honda, but Eddie Roberts' Moto Guzzi did not stand the pace, retiring after 1 lap. Malcolm Lucas was the first Brit bike home on the BB Brothers BSA Triple. Phil Reed had a much easier ride to victory in the senior TT on his Suzuki, winning by 90 seconds from Tom Heron and Eddie Roberts, both on 350 Yamaha. John Williams, a probable contender, retired his Suzuki on the first lap. Pat Hennon, at his TT debut, finished 5th. Jeff Barry's 500 Yamaha took him to 11th place. Lapping just shy of the ton in practice, Market Drayton's Dick Greasley with Mick Skeels rode themselves into the record books by lapping at over the ton for the first time on three wheels, and that was from a standing start on their 750 Chell Yamaha. But George Odell and Kenny Arthur went even faster with their Yamaha on lap 2 to take over the lead to win by 50 seconds. Rolf Steinhausen and Wolfgang Kellow brought the Busch Koenig into third place. Best of the locals to finish were George Oates and John Molyneux in seventh place. George and John, father of current Sidecar Supremo Dave Molyneux, sadly lost their lives in a crash at the Ulster Grand Prix later that year. A surprise non-starter for the classic race was Phil Reed. After winning the Formula 1 and Senior, he took his classic Yamaha out for a test on open roads and dumped it at Brandish Corner, copping a broken collarbone and a £25 fine for riding on bald tyres. In the race, Mick Grant and his works Kawasaki were in a class of their own, breaking the outright lap record and beating Charlie Williams by 3.5 minutes, with Eddie Roberts third, a further 2 minutes behind. Manx Grand Prix winner Sam McClements revived memories of the Works Triumph triples and their gorgeous sounds on his Daytona Trident. Sidecar Race 2, and this time it was Mac Hudson and Stu Collins who led the way from the start on the Yamaha. Rolf Billand and Ken Williams on their Schmidt Yamaha overtook the other Rolf, Steinhausen, on his Busch Koenig to finish second. With 2 third places, Steinhausen was the overall winner of the Sidecar TT. Best Manx team home this time were Artie Oates and Dave Skelly with their Kawasaki. Outfits come in all shapes and sizes. This is Bob Mullen and John O'Leary with their Spartan Yamaha. Number 30 is Dave Bexley and Graham Hutchins and their Kawasaki. In 1977, Dick Hawes commissioned the BRM Formula 1 team to build a monocoque sidecar chassis on the line of Rolf Billand's championship-winning Same As. It would be fair to say the outfit did not handle well on the bumps of the road circuit. Dick and passenger Alec McFadden finished the first leg in 23rd place, but retired early in the second leg. The BRM chassis has recently been sold through an auction site. Alan Jackson was invincible on his Billhead Honda in the Formula 2 TT. He headed home a Honda 123, with Neil Tuxworth second and Dennis Casement third. Alistair Copland brought his Honda lookalike Benelli 4 home in 7th place. The Formula 3 TT winner was John Kidson. John was lucky to be racing. He damaged the cylinder head of his Honda at the end of practice week. A local bike dealer lent John a head from a customer's bike. I wonder if he ever knew. Second to John was Brian Peters on the Crook Suzuki, and third was Alan Walsh on the Jeff Brett Honda. German Harold Gasser slid off at Parliament Square. Before he finished sliding, he was back on it again and away. The Vintage Club had superb weather for their TT rally in Peel, with competitors attending from all over the world. This match list would be an ideal mount for tootling round the Manx Green lanes. Not sure of the capacity of the Moto Guzzi, but it's a fine example of Mandello's finest, and I bet this bruff is the TT77 ended with the Jubilee TT. This was an invitation-only event to be run on treaded tyres. The organisers declined entries from the regular TT superstars, so no Charlie Williams, Mick Grant, Chas Mortimer, etc., to allow other competitors a chance of TT glory. One Irishman took full advantage of this to claim the first of his 26 TT victories. Joey Dunlop simply left the field for dead, lapping just 20 seconds shy of Mick Grant's outright lap record from a standing start. George Fogarty was second on his 500 Suzuki, with Steve Tonkin third on a 350 Maxton Yamaha. Joey was still plain Joe in those days. His name and talent would shine bright for the next 23 years over the mountain. As one new TT star emerged, a former ace was thinking of making a comeback. Mike Hailwood, who last raced on the island in 1966, was back out in practice for the Manx on a 700 Paget Yamaha. It was said he was helping Peter Starr in filming for Take It to the Limit, but in addition he was checking to see whether the TT fire was still in his belly. He was careful never to make a flying lap. They pieced his lap times together. He felt comfortable, and we know what happened. But that will be revealed in 1978 TT Revisited. Thanks for watching.